Alina had never thought that her life could change so drastically in one day. She had been happily married to Greg for 5 years, and it seemed that nothing could mar their relationship. They met in college. Alina was studying in the economics department, while Greg was studying engineering. Their meeting happened at an interfaculty event. Alina also noticed a tall, handsome guy who couldn't take his eyes off her all evening. They struck up a conversation and found out they had much in common: a love for traveling, a passion for classical music, and a dream of having their own business. From that evening, they were inseparable. After graduating from university, Alina got a job at a large financial company, while Greg started his career at a construction firm. They worked hard and made plans for the future. 2 years into their relationship, Greg proposed to Alina. It was romantic, by the seaside at sunset during their vacation in Florida. Naturally, Alina said yes. The wedding was modest but very beautiful. They invited only their closest friends and relatives. Alina still fondly remembered that day, how they danced under the starry sky, exchanged tender glances, and dreamed of a long and happy life together. The first years of marriage were filled with love and understanding. Alina and Greg supported each other in everything, in their career ambitions, hobbies, and difficult moments. They traveled, discovered new places, and learned new facets of each other. It seemed their union was perfect. But gradually, Greg became more withdrawn. He stayed late at work, and at home, he spent time glued to his phone. When Alina tried to talk to him, he brushed it off, not giving it much importance. She thought it was temporary difficulties due to his busy work schedule. She tried to create a cozy atmosphere at home so that Greg could relax and unwind, cooked his favorite meals, and arranged romantic dinners. But more and more often, she encountered a wall of misunderstanding and indifference. Their relationship with Greg's mother, Sarah, became especially tense. This domineering woman disliked Alina from the start, considering her not a good enough match for her precious son. She constantly interfered in their lives, gave unsolicited advice, and criticized every decision of the young family. Alina tried to stay calm and not react to her mother-in-law's nagging, but with each passing day, it became more difficult. What upset her most was that Greg always sided with his mother, saying that Alina overreacted and that his mother only wanted the best for them. Despite these difficulties, Alina still believed in their marriage. She hoped that, with time, everything would get better, that they would overcome this crisis and become even closer. She and Greg talked a lot about the future, dreamed of buying a big house, having children, and starting their own business. These dreams helped Alina cope with everyday problems and believe in better days. Every morning, while getting ready for work, Alina looked at their wedding photo on the bedside table. In it, she and Greg looked so happy, so in love. This photo reminded her of what was worth fighting for and gave her the strength to keep going. That Tuesday, nothing foretold trouble. As usual, Greg was already gone. He had left for work early, leaving a note on the kitchen table with the short message, "Love you." This little detail made Alina smile. Maybe things were not so bad in their relationship. The day at work turned out to be stressful. Alina was working on an important project on which her promotion depended. She got so absorbed in her work that she even forgot to have lunch. Only by evening, when her stomach made a persistent reminder, did she quickly grab a sandwich from a vending machine. On her way home, Alina dreamed of a hot bath and a delicious dinner. Maybe she could convince Greg to watch a movie together. Lately, they rarely spent evenings together, and Alina really missed the times when they could talk for hours about everything or simply enjoy each other's company in silence. Approaching her home, Alina noticed that the light in their apartment was on. This meant Greg was already home. This was unusual. He usually returned later than her. Maybe he's planning a surprise for me, Alina thought hopefully as she rode the elevator up. Opening the apartment door, Alina immediately felt something was off. The air was thick with tension. Greg was nervously pacing the living room, visibly agitated. He didn't even notice when Alina entered, so deep in thought he was. "Honey, what happened?" Alina asked, taking off her coat. Her heart beat anxiously. She had never seen her husband in such a state. Greg flinched at the sound of his wife's voice. He turned to her, and Alina saw a mixture of guilt and determination in his eyes. He took a deep breath, as if gathering courage, and blurted out, "Dear, Mom wants to start a business. She needs $300,000, so I gave her all the money from our account." Alina froze in place, not believing her ears. The world around her seemed to stop. She looked at her husband, trying to comprehend what she'd just heard. "What did you say? You're joking, right?" she finally managed to say, hoping it was some kind of bad joke or that she had misunderstood him. But Greg was not joking. "No, I'm absolutely serious," he replied, avoiding her gaze. And at that moment, Alina realized that her life would never be the same again. "Are you out of your mind?" she screamed in rage and despair. "How could you do this? That's our joint money. Most of it is my savings." Greg tried to calm his wife, raising his hands in a placating gesture. "Listen, I'll return it all as soon as possible. Mom has a great business plan. It'll all pay off." "What business plan? What are you even talking about?" Alina was beside herself with anger. She felt as if the ground was slipping from under her feet. All their plans, their dreams of a new house, travel, everything was collapsing before her eyes. Greg started explaining, nervously pacing the room. "She wants to open 2 fast food stalls by the station. She's sure it'll make her rich right away." "You gave all our money for some fast food stalls? Are you in your right mind? We spent years saving that money," Alina interrupted him. "You just don't understand business," Greg snapped back, obviously hurt by her reaction. "Mom knows what she's doing. She has a lot of experience." "I don't understand?" Alina was indignant. Her face reddened with anger. "I work at a large financial company. I have 2 degrees, and you say I don't understand. Return my money immediately." Greg shook his head. "No, I've already given it all to Mom. The money is in the business. You'll see. In a few months, we'll laugh about this conversation. Mom thought it all through." Alina felt a lump rising in her throat. She sank onto the sofa and covered her face with her hands, trying to hold back the tears. "How could you do this to me? We're a family. We should make such decisions together. You didn't even consult me." "I thought you'd understand," Greg mumbled, sitting down next to his wife. "Mom, I couldn't refuse her. She's done so much for me." "And did you think about me?" Alina lifted her tear-stained face. "About our plans? We wanted to buy a new car, do renovations. And now what? All our dreams are shattered because of your stupidity." Greg shrugged. "All that can wait. The main thing is to help Mom get on her feet. Then we'll have even more money. We can buy a car, do the renovation, and even get a house out of town." Alina couldn't believe what she was hearing. How could Greg be so naive? How could he so easily handle their joint funds? She stood up and went to the window, trying to collect her thoughts. You know what? Alina turned to her husband, determination blazing in her eyes. I won't leave it like this. You had no right to handle my money without my consent. She picked up the phone from the coffee table and quickly dialed a number. Alina, please, let's discuss it, Greg pleaded. I know I made a mistake, but we can fix it all. There's nothing to discuss. She cut him off. You made your choice. I made mine. I can't live with someone I can't trust anymore. When Alina's father showed Greg the door, he could only shout, You're just going to kick me out after 5 years of marriage? Alina said nothing. The door slammed shut. He had to return to his mother, and only there did he begin to realize what he'd done and the price he'd have to pay for his folly. But Alina didn't care. She was starting a new life. Thank you for your attention. Please share your thoughts in the comments and let us know which country you're watching from. Give a like, share with friends. It helps the channel grow. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss new and interesting stories. See you tomorrow.